Yes. So I want to share why people don't want to work with someone. So this is a really common underlying problem that a lot of bookkeepers and accountants face. I faced it as well myself. And if I would have known this and these concepts when I first got started, it's been close to 10 years now since I've been running my bookkeeping business. I would have been able to grow and reach my goals a lot faster. So some of these are gonna be stuff that you do. Some of these are gonna be stuff that the other person does. Now, usually, what's gonna happen is that people will misunderstand a lack of confidence for a lack of competence. Now, when I say competence, I have to say it like that because, like, sometimes, like when I speak, it can be hard to enunciate certain words. So, competence is one of those words that I sometimes have trouble with. But many people don't have confidence in their ability not just to do the work, but to do the work correctly. And this is whether people have like zero experience in accounting, or I've even had people who have like an accounting and bookkeeping job for the last 10 years that still feel like, well, what if I make a mistake? Well, what if people don't want to work with me? So it's not really always about the amount of experience you have. It generally kind of comes back to like how we kind of see ourselves as people. And the reason why this is challenging is because clients are going to be picking up on what is the energy that we are pushing out to the world. So I'm always thinking like whenever I'm on a consultation call, I want to either be neutral or I want to be like very, very confident that what I'm doing works. Now, the reason why I want to be neutral and or confident, I'm somewhere inside this range. If I am unconfident, if I'm like then I'm below here, I'm not gonna get the client. But if I'm up here, so somewhere within, I don't have to be super confident. I don't have to be like, I can do this thing. I can be neutral and still do it. But it's like it's almost like you either have to be leading the person because if you feel confident, they're going to start feeling confident. Or if you feel neutral and you have the right person sitting in front of you, then you can be neutral. So the difference is really like the person that you're sitting across from you because if they come on the phone and they have no confidence in your ability to do stuff. They don't know anything about you. They don't know if it's going to work. They don't know if you're going to screw up their books. If you don't have confidence, you're going to confirm their existing kind of preconceived notions versus they come on the phone, maybe they're a little bit hesitant, they're nervous, they don't know what to expect, and you're like, boom, I know this, boom, I can do this, boom, that's what I've done for other people in the past. They start raising and raising and raising, and they basically are following you, right? You're taking the lead on the call. So it's like but if you get someone on the phone and like you get good at marketing and the person is already like neutral or excited, then you can be a little bit below them and you're still going to get the sale because they're already there, right? So most people, what's going to happen is like your marketing in the beginning is not going to be that organized, strong, or impactful or even influencing to the people that come on the phone. So you have to make up for that by being better at sales. So a good example of this, and some people say, well, Bryce, like if I'm not confident, I can't just become confident. And I totally understand that, right? It is a process. Now, in our program, in our mentorship program, we help people build confidence with a couple different things. So the example I like using is Cynthia. She's one of our current students in our program. Now, when she first got started, she was like, I don't know how to do bookkeeping. I don't have confidence that I can do this stuff myself. And, I really don't believe that someone would want to hire me, right? And so the first thing we did, and like this, I didn't, it was kind of challenging to work with her in the beginning, only because like she was very resistant to the stuff that we needed to do in order to kind of like find success. And I kind of miss so usually for me, right, if I'm afraid of something, I like to go and like learn a bunch of stuff about it or go like I like to go and attack it, right? I have more of an aggressive kind of personality when it comes to problems and learning and like, things that upset me or things that scare me, right? But some people don't have that. Some people, it's like you have to kind of like build confidence in your own way. So the first thing we did was we gave her a lot of different like problems to solve inside of QuickBooks. So we talk about sample companies. We have like an accounting manual inside of our program and basically like give her as much information and knowledge. And basically we start quizzing her on those. Now, in addition to the quizzes, once she started like being able to say, okay, well, I know this, I know this, I know this, I know this, and I know this, and I know this, it's like, well, hey, well, maybe. are you ready to go and get clients? And she goes, well, no, I don't know because of this. Okay, and that's not a problem. So the next step was really having her go and talk to other people in the field. So for example, we basically show her how to go and get referral partners. So some referral partners that we had to do, like the first set of them were like CPAs or forensic accountants. And those forensic accountants and CPAs would ask her questions. And then she's like, well, the more that they kept asking me questions, the less they asked about my experience level because I answered the questions well. So maybe it's not about how much experience I have. Maybe it's just like, if I can answer the questions, if I can answer the questions. So if I just learn more about accounting and bookkeeping, I can answer questions and I'm good. Okay, cool. And then what I told her was a lot of these referral partners, like CPAs, they're going to be way harder on you on the phone than like what an actual client will be. Now, the reason why is because like the CPA has to entrust you to do like some of the work or refer some of their friends versus the client, they don't really know what they're doing. So it's like, you're here, you have a pulse, you want to help me, you know what you're doing, let's go. So once she started understanding that, then she started feeling comfortable going after regular clients. And then once she got her first client, then she got her second, then she got her third. And then so she's at about 5 grand per month, and she just got a deal last week with one of the other students in our program. So basically what it means is like some of our students, as they get to higher revenue levels, like as they get to like 10K, 11, 15, 20K per month, they need help doing the work, but they don't want to build a team on their own. Right. So instead, they come back to newer students out of the program. They partner with them to help the newer students grow, but to also be able to go and like offload some of the work they have. So she basically got, I think it was either 10 or 15 clients that she's basically sharing the work with one of the students named Joanne. We're going to talk about Joanne in a minute. But it was 5 grand per month. And like this stat's a little bit old because I have not gotten the full tally of like what the value of those 15 clients are. Because again, she's sharing the clients. So it's not like she outright got the clients from Joanne. She's like basically sharing, I think, 10 to 15 clients. So I have to kind of see what those numbers are. So I think she might be seeing anywhere between like 7 to like 9K per month. It just depends. So I have to go and like I can't tell you she made like 9 grand a month yet because I can confirm she's made five. I don't know if she's made nine, but it's just really exciting to kind of like see someone where it's like you put in the time, you put in the effort, even though maybe you don't believe fully in yourself, but you just keep moving, you keep doing stuff, you keep trying. That's all I ask of you, you know? I never need someone to be perfect. I never need someone to be like a superhero or a superhuman. I just need you to be there, just be willing, just don't give up on yourself. That's the main thing when it comes to this just to business in general. Right. Next thing is like a mistrust in capability. So some potential clients are skeptical, especially if they've been burned before by other like accountants or other bookkeepers, right? So it's like the first one was a lack of confidence in you. The second one is a mistrust in capabilities by the other person, right? Because it's like there's always like 25-75, right? Kind of splits like 25% is you, 75% is other people. Now, in most cases, this should be handled inside of your marketing. So you should have already been able to get an understanding of if the person has been burned before in the past. If they have, you need to start implementing things inside of your consultation call that elicit the ability to build trust as well as to really separate yourself from the past experience, right? Because if let's say that if you have two pairs of glasses, person has tried this pair of glasses, they don't like it, right? They've also tried this pair of glasses, and you're this pair of glasses. If you appear exactly the same, they're gonna say, "Well, I've already tried something like that. I don't think you're gonna work. It's just not gonna work because you remind me too much of the other person." I literally had a person say that to me. They're like, "Oh, you sound exactly like the other bookkeeper, so I don't know, I don't know." And you never worked with me. Versus if you are a glass, or if they've been burned by like a pair of glasses, and all of a sudden you're coming out as a smartphone, it's totally different. Now they're willing to try this thing out and they're willing to do this. Now, the thing that's going to separate that is your marketing. It's going to be your conversation inside of Messenger as well as your consultation call, where you're trying to create this divide so that the person doesn't see you in the same way or in the same like frame. That's called like positioning, right? And it just makes things a lot easier. Now, again, it does come down to your confidence, right? So like when I say confident, it's going to be your ability to lead a person. The first two reasons why someone doesn't want to work with you both have been about leadership. It's not necessarily an internal belief on you about your confidence or your capabilities. It's about how are you able to basically influence another person. I don't like saying the word convince. It's more influence another person to basically get the decision you need in order to move your life and your business forward. Your ability to do that is going to really dictate the outcomes you have in life, which actually moves on to the next question, which is poor objection handling. So, a challenge that a lot of people face is that if you don't have confidence in your ability to do stuff, and the other person thinks that you don't have a lot of capabilities, they're going to pose a lot of objections like, where's your website? How long have you been doing this for? Have you worked with clients exactly like me? How do I know you're not going to mess things up? Can I speak to five or six different references? Right? So the first thing is you have to make sure that you have a really good sales consultation call script so it's moving people down the right frames, like the right idea, so that they feel like they're trusting you naturally. Right? If you can answer a lot of these questions before they're asked, then it does not come as an objection. It just comes as just natural part of the conversation. Inside of our program, we give you like different like scripts and stuff of like what to say. So like in a lot of cases for me, I don't really get objections on my calls, whether it's for our accounting firm, whether it's for our bookkeeping business. And the reason why is because a lot of the stuff that I do, whether it's on the market or giving the consultation call, is I'm having just a very simple conversation on each of like the seven main objections that people give. So by the time that the call basically comes to the end, we don't really have objections because we've already had these conversations. We've already talked about like what are their fears, what are their concerns? Like, do they have to have like a partner go and like approve different things before they can get a yes or no? Do they have the cash flow to do it? Is it the right time? Or just making sure that every single thing that could come up at the end of the call has been handled as quickly as possible. Now, if you don't know about objection handling, if you're watching this inside my YouTube channel, right, we just type in objection handling inside of like our channel, right? Because in our channel we have like videos all about objection handling. If you're inside the school group, just go to the sales training because it has like a literally like just videos and videos of objection handling as well. So you just go watch that. Um, cool. Now, another thing is like imposter syndrome, right? So a lack of belief in your own abilities, again, translates to weak responses to client objections. If you notice, like we keep coming back to confidence and capabilities, right? It's because a lot of times what happens, like if you are, not a psychopath, right? Then like usually you're gonna be honest with the person you're speaking to, right? So it's like if you don't feel you can do the job, it's very hard for most people to just go up and like lie to a person, be like, yeah, I can definitely do the job, right? So first, like, gotta build up your skills, right? If you don't have someone who can help you build the skills, we can definitely help you do that. But once you know what you're doing, it is okay to basically talk about yourself in a positive light. That's a big thing that I know a lot of people struggle with. I struggle with to a certain degree. I kind of learned when I was younger to kind of overcome that. So when I was younger, right, like let's say like high school, I was very nervous about coming across like I was bragging, right? So I never really wanted to talk about myself. I never wanted to like brag about myself, because I didn't number one, I didn't want people to dislike me, and then number two, I didn't want that to become like my reputation, right? And I had a teacher basically tell me it's like, I'd rather if nothing else, if no one else is going to support that I can do what I say I can do, or if I'm, good or bad at something, I need to at least create that propaganda so that, that there is at least one voice in the market that's saying that I can do something. And I was like, oh, that's a good point. Because he said most people, they're not going to be talking bad about you. So it's going to be neutral, right? It's going to be like neutral word of mouth for you. So you have to kickstart that word of mouth by talking about yourself in the best possible light. Like, don't over exaggerate yourself. Like, if you've only been in accounting for like 6 months, don't say you've been in there for like 60 years. You know what I mean? But if something is objectively true about you, it's okay to tell the business owner that. It is a-okay to do that. Like it's not bragging. Even if it is bragging, who cares? You know what I mean? Like there comes a time in a business and like this happened to me too, because I was like it was kind of like at a certain point, because I was being super passive when I was first getting started. I was like, well, I don't want to like push the business owner too hard. 'Cause like, what if they don't like me? Or what if they're mad? What if they tell people that I like pressured them on my consultation call? And I thought I was like, well. what does it really matter what they say? If they don't buy, what does it matter? Like most times what's going to happen is you're going to have someone they're going to reach out to you for accounting or bookkeeping services. Then you're going to talk to them for 45 minutes and then they'll call, they're going to say, "Oh, blah 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 blah." Some kind of insert lame objection there. And then you're never going to hear from them or never talk to them again. So whether they say you're great, you're bad, does it really matter in the grand scheme of your life? You're only going to really know them for about 50 minutes of your life if they don't buy from you. So if they don't like you because like, okay, think about it like this. A person comes in to um a person comes in to learn how to like cut their hair. A person who's a hair cutting teacher basically comes to them and says, okay, this is how you cut your hair. And why do you want to learn how to cut your hair? And the person basically tells them, well, for 45 minutes, well, I need to learn how to cut my hair. My hair has lice. I have this. I don't know. It's so disorganized. No one wants to talk to me. People think my hairdo looks ugly. And at the end of the call, he's okay, cool. I'm going to show you how to go in and cut your hair. And the person goes, no, I don't want to learn how to cut my hair. Is like the haircut teacher the bad guy because randomly the person changed their mind? Or randomly it's like just some weird thing happens? No. Of course, the haircut teachers be like, well, number one, why are you wasting my time? Number two, what's changed since the last time we spoke? And like the person might be a little bit annoyed, right? You just wasted 45 minutes of my time. So it's like it's not that it's unusual that maybe you get annoyed with a prospect who changes their mind, or maybe it's not a bad idea because like you're moving someone forward towards working with you. Like, what does it matter? You know what I mean? It kind of comes down to like yeah, it kind of comes down to like just not caring about what other people think. Like that's the biggest thing like in business. Like if you can just become neutral to what other people think and just like just keep moving, it doesn't matter. Like I saw this guy he basically got like he basically got this like government organization came and like told him like they fined him like they put it like in the newspaper and stuff. This dude still makes more money today than what he did before got in trouble by the government. It's like and then I have people in my program where it's like, well, if I ask them for the sale and they say no, I'm gonna be done forever. It's like, no, no one cares that much. Like no one really cares about us that much that it's gonna be like this lingering thing that's gonna be happening for the rest of our life. It just doesn't really happen like that. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, just being neutral to the market. It's like at the end of the day, the only people that like okay, let's be honest. I'm breaking the fourth wall. The only people that really matter are going to be people who are depending on you to put, food on the table, right? So it's gonna be your children, it's gonna be our family, it's gonna be your spouse, right? So it's like outside of those people, you have to care more about like what they think about you than what random strangers on the interwebs care about you, right? Right? Because as long as you're doing things well by your children, and depending on your relationship with your spouse, if you're trying your best with your spouse, and you're honest, you're doing the best you can. When you get a client, you work as hard as you possibly can, and you don't lie to people. That's really all that matters. Let the chips fall where they may. If someone doesn't like you because of that, or if someone, talks crap about you, it doesn't matter, right? You can overcome that because your character is going to naturally cause you to rise above whatever negative criticism or thing that ever like happens, you know? It's just one of those things. Just keep being real, keep putting yourself out there, keep moving forward. Like think about it like this. Like if you're trying to go to like 10 grand a month, right, in your business, if your lowest price point is $500 per month per client, it's only going to take you 20 clients maximum to reach that goal. There's 20 clients in every room, city, state in America or Canada, if you're watching this in Canada, that can work with you. So there's no real pressure for you to get every single person who comes on the phone. Just do your best as much as you can. Right, good example is like our student Joanne, and Joanne's actually the student that referred the clients to Cynthia. And Joanne really struggled when she first got started. She called herself like I think it was like a people pleaser, she was saying. And like she just wanted to make sure everyone's happy. And she kind of felt that like a lot of business owners didn't have a lot of money, right? So every time like that she would use her pricing calculator, she would literally just like divide the price in half. And the reason why is because like, when we actually talked about it, it was because like, when she was growing up, money was really tight, right? And her parents, I think one of her parents owned like a business. And she just saw that every single day. Like, sometimes if the business is doing okay, then money's good. If it's not, then it's kind of feast or famine. She kind of had that in her subconscious. So on addition to wanting to please everybody, and then also thinking that everyone's kind of going through tough times, it was very, very hard for her to really kind of turn that corner. And once she kind of understood that like all the stuff we do is just about statistics and about really finding like what is the right pattern of conversation for you to follow, then all you have to do is just make sure that like as long as you can go talk to business and have an honest conversation about like what the finances look like, if they can afford your service, charge the price point you need to do. Or else you're gonna take a million clients, you're not gonna reach your goal, and you're gonna be stuck and like have to go back and get a job, you know? And the cool thing for her was like once she kind of got out of the way and like once she got out of her own way essentially, then she started growing. Like she has I think like between 15 to 20 clients right now, right? Anywhere between about 500 to about $2,000 a month, right? And it was just like once she kind of gave herself permission to really attack and just go after the stuff she wanted, that's when the game works. Like this game is fun when it works. When you do things right and you just stay consistent, like it works and it just makes so much sense. So you just have to kind of get out of your own way. Just put yourself out there as many times as possible. It's gonna sting if a client says no. It's gonna sting if someone doesn't go with you. But that's just life. Like, I'd rather have emotional kind of um, emotional shots and emotional trials than like monetary or physical ones, right? It's like we're all gonna have problems in life, so you gotta pick what your problems are going to be. I chose to have non-financial problems, right? So like I wanted to make sure that like no matter what happens within reason, like I can't go buy like a super yacht for like $10 million for like a yacht or $100 million for a yacht. But anything under about $10,000 does not bother me if it has to come out of the bank account, right? Because I set up my life in a way where I have cash flow, I have support, I have clients, and I am able to move forward inside of my business and my life, right? And I want that for you too, right? All of these reasons why someone's not going to work with you is really an internal thing that if we can figure that out, we can get that like rocking and rolling, you're going to be able to grow your business. It's just a matter of time. So if you want some help really figuring out like what you need to do to grow and really knowing exactly what it takes to go and reach your goals in your business, go ahead and click the link inside the description, either above or below the video to book a call with myself to see if I can help you. Okay. I'm here for you. I'm watching your success, and I'm always a message or a call away. I'll talk to you soon. Have a good rest of your day. Take it easy.